It was a Friday night, I woke alone to get the feeling right. We started making out and she took off my pants, but then I turned on the TV, and that's about the time she walked away from me.
So nasally.
Yeah. Was that their fault that they got so popular that all the bands started doing that, or were they just part of that movement and someone else started that? Because I don't know. Like right around that time, every band came out with we're going to do 3 chords.
Yeah.
And we're going to whine a lot. And every song was like, ding, 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 I don't like you. You don't like me. I'm a piece of shit. Yeah, yeah.
And everything was funny. Like everything had to have like an underlining joke.
Yeah, they had to have a sense of humor about it.
Right.
Don't take yourself seriously. In fact, the more you can self-deprecate, the better.
Right.
It's all about, I'm such an idiot.
I don't know. I guess I would compare it to the same time like when Pearl Jam hit it big. All those croners, they came out.
Yeah.
Like Stone Temple Pilots.
Right.
And not that Stone Temple Pilots are anything like Pearl Jam because they're really not. But everybody assumed to have that voice all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And
right.
I don't know. That's a good question. If anybody knows. What's another band that sounded off? Nasally.
I feel like Green Day might have started it.
That's true.
Because he pretty much sounded like he was trying to be British.
Yeah.
Like the British punk rockers,
Yeah, like Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounded like he was just imitating them.
Yeah.
But he did it in a high registers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, the 90s. Welcome to the Bill and Joe Show. We are brought to you by TomSlayton.com, SLATIN.com. Make sure to find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Bill Joe Show. Now, we're just coming off of a brand new episode that we had on Friday night.
Feels like it back-to-back here.
Yeah, a little bit back-to-back. I wish that Kevin was with us to ask you this because, okay, we used to have a panelist, a regular. I don't know about how regular, but there was a panelist on the show that I was always kind of, I don't know, a little uncomfortable with, and I don't really know how. And I'm not going to name names, but
all right,
I was always a little bit uncomfortable with this guy, and a large part of it had to do with the fact of. You ever know that moment when, and of course this is back when I was married and Danielle was on the show and all that good stuff, and yeah, you ever get that feeling that a guy that you spend a lot of time with is kind of like trying to, I don't want to say holler at your girl because that sounds a bit extreme, but somebody who you could tell is genuinely interested.
Okay,
and it just seems like since I've been going through this whole divorce thing and Danielle moved out. With the kids, well, this guy is taking them out to dinner, taking them to baseball games, helping her move. He's spending a lot of one-on-one time with my family. Went out to dinner with my ex-in-laws.
So he's kind of stepping in, he's providing a male role in her life?
Yeah. And,
is what you're saying?
Yeah, and of course, Danielle, assures me, it's nothing like that, blah,
sure.
blah. Which is beside the point.
Right.
It's a bro code violation to me to go play house with my family. Even if it's an ex, I don't want to say ex-family because they're always going to be my family, but it's kind of...
Even though you've been removed from the daily operations of that family.
Sure.
You stated that was your flag. You marked that family.
Yeah.
And anyone who was with you during that time should respect that flag.
Yes.
Now, anyone that comes after you
right.
can piss on that flag.
Right.
Because they don't know your flag.
No.
They don't care about your flag.
No, absolutely not.
But I think anyone that came up with you or after...
spent a lot of time with me and Danielle. And our kids.
Well, and that's the other thing. That's like on one hand... If you're doing the bro code, you got bros before hoes.
Okay, not that blunt,
but yeah, it's so obviously he's more her friend than he was your friend.
Absolutely,
because he chose a side. And that's the side he's on,
which is totally fine. I mean, I don't feel like there should be any sides. I mean, it's a I don't know. For example, they went out to dinner with both of the kids to our restaurant. It's Agatushi's Pizza.
Your favorite?
Yeah, it's Danielle's favorite. I don't
Family night.
Yeah,
you would
I
do
mean,
that.
we did that every one of her birthdays. That's where we went. If we wanted a date night, that's where we would go eat. He took her there, and then he took her and the kids to the baseball game, the Chiefs, the baseball game, the minor league baseball team. And my son, I saw him the next day, and he had this scrape like right across his neck. And I was like, London, what happened? He's like, I was riding on said guy's shoulders, walking around the ballpark, and he ran me into the branch of a tree. So,
well, he is pretty tall.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, well, I understand that, but it's just playing house with my family is just that's not cool.
It's upsetting.
It pisses me off. Not so. I mean, obviously Danielle is like, no, it's not like that. It's just friends. Blah blah. It's like that's not what bothers me. It doesn't bother me that you think that he's friends. He's just always bothered me in that department. Like he just made me feel really uneasy and very uncomfortable when it came to Danielle and my family. And then now that this is going on, he's like taking necessary steps to piss on my flag. Which I mean, it's a great analogy. Like you said, and I told Danielle, I was like, if you go out to dinner or go to a baseball game with some new guy that you've been seeing or whatever, I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
That's new guy.
Right.
I've already been through this.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to go through it again, especially since when I went through this with Matt and Carrie, how many times Carrie would say, Bill, really? It's Matt.
Right.
And now they're married with two beautiful kids.
Right.
So, I mean, I can't use that with Danielle either.
They tell you you're crazy.
You're nuts.
Nothing would ever happen with us in a million years.
Are you serious?
He's like my brother.
Right. I heard that one too.
Right.
Next thing you know,
boom. As long as brother's persistent,
right,
it could change the world.
I know.
Who knows?
And it's like, I can't use Carrie as an example with Danielle because I'm not Carrie. I'm
right.
not,
you
so
can't tell her that you're just like my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, it is eerily similar to what I went through with my ex-girlfriend, so I can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do that, but you can't deny the similarities of the situation.
No.
You have an ex, you have a friend, he has now spends a lot of alone time with her, spends no time with you.
Yeah. Yes.
It's not like if I were to be like, hey, you know what? I know you and your wife are hanging out, but she really wants some help with the kids. You mind if I tag along?
Right. That's bro code.
I'm going to bring my wife. It's not a big deal.
Right.
That would be me being a friend to your ex-wife.
Well, and I have a couple. They're married. We've been we've been hanging out a lot, and they've got two kids. And my buddy, he goes to work, and she's a stay-at-home mom. And some days I just want to, go grab a beer, sit out on her deck. I mean, not anymore because it's cold now. Go grab a beer, smoke a cigarette, have a beer with her, hang out, whatever.
Yeah.
Even as weird as that is, with just one-on-one, I still text him first and is like, hey, man, I'm over by your house. Would you mind if I stop by and had a beer with your wife?
Right.
Just to hang out. As weird as that does sound. But he's always like, yeah, man, go ahead. Have a good time. I appreciate you asking, though.
Right.
Because that's what you're supposed to do.
Well, because as innocent as you feel, if he were to come home and you're sitting there, feet up on his coffee table, drinking his beer,
right,
talking intimately with his wife, who knows what you're talking about? Could be football. Could be him.
Right.
You could be talking about his day or whatever. Who knows?
Right.
It just looks bad.
Yeah.
And you don't want that perception. You don't want that guy being like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Even for a second. So you give him the heads up. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and we've actually gone at length to talk about it. Like, dude, if it bothers you, and he's like, dude, no, it doesn't bother me. In fact, it helps me out a little bit because, I know that she's at home all day with the kid by herself.
Yeah.
And then when I get home, she needs a break. So then I'm on kid duty. So at least you can balance her out and give her a little bit,
Gives her some adult interaction.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a little baby.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know what that's like.
Sure.
This all came down today, and like possibly the worst way that I could find out was my little boy who's 4. I helped in his classroom today.
Yeah.
So I got to teach kids how to use a mouse on a computer and, I don't know, count 5 eggs and put them in a basket. And then I'd tell them a different number, and they'd have to just mind-numbing 2.5 hours of my life. And got in the car, and my son just decided this would be the perfect time to tell, hey, Dad, guess what we did?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so bro code violation. I find out about it through a 4-year-old. And it's just, I don't know. I want to smack the shit out of this guy. I honestly do. So I am justified in feeling that way.
I'd say, yeah, definitely.
Considering I've welcomed him into my home numerous times.
You're right. You guys were friends, as far as I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's just wrong etiquette, I believe.
Yeah.
For sure. You got to, at least give a phone call like, hey, I'm choosing sides. I'm not going to be your friend anymore. Don't expect a call. Fuck yourself. Or,
okay.
Or I want to be nice about this. I want to take your feelings into consideration and at least talk to you about it or something. But
he was the only person to help my wife move. So, like,
but how many did she ask?
How many people?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think she asked very many people. I mean, but considering that we've always helped our family, which is pretty big, we always help them move. I think she just expected them to come help her, and they, of course, did not.
Uh-huh.
But and plus, I was always kind of, whenever we would move, I would be kind of the party organizer to get dudes to come help us move. Like, hey, man, pizza, beer. We're gonna be having a good time. We're gonna be doing shots all day. It's gonna be great. It's not gonna be like moving.
Also, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and pick up that entertainment center and load it up these 3 flights of stairs.
Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there would be that.
But it's going to be awesome.
But we're going to do a shot right now before we do it, which is awesome. So, yeah, I did. Anyway, so, like, yeah, even a phone call from him in that instance would be like, hey, man, I don't. Okay, so this is how I would. Hey, man, I really don't know what's going on with the two of you, but she needs help moving, dude, and she's got nobody. Mm-hmm. And I was just wondering if that would be an issue for you with me helping her, all day, moving your stuff into her house.
Yeah.
The stuff that I used when I was in your house. Just a dick move. So I just wanted to touch on bro code for a minute. But I feel better feeling justified by you, Joe.
Rightfully so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're going to change gears coming up after the break. We have a couple of questions that were sent to us through Facebook. You don't have to answer these. I don't have to answer these. But we'll get to them.
But we'll ask them anyway.
We'll ask them anyway. Coming up after the break. Thank you guys for listening to the Bill and Joe Show.
You're listening to the Bill and Joe Show.
Hey guys, we want you to check out Front Drop, the app that allows users to easily express themselves and their passion through their images. Use it to create awesome effects on your profile pic. Check out Front Drop app on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Front Drop app. And it's really cool. It's really easy to use. You can add a certain style to those, maybe boring Facebook pics. It's very cool. Facebook.com/Front Drop app. Go check it out right now. This is a really cool idea for anybody who has kids or likes making meals. And part of making that meal is knowing that you're going to have leftovers. So then when you get done with the meal, you know that you got lunch all set up for tomorrow. So you go to your cupboards and you look for that Tupperware thing, and you find the box, but you can't find the matching lid, or vice versa. You find the lid, but you can't find the matching box. Here is a new idea that is going to blow you away. It's called the B box. And basically what it is they're collapsible, they are stackable, and the really cool thing is that they're adjustable. And by stackable, what I mean is if you have the same size, you can put things in each one and then stack them on top of one another, and it actually will seal the one underneath it. With the bottom of the top one, it'll seal it. So you really, at the end of it, you only need one lid on the top. It's a really